All right, everybody. We're going to take a little time today and add some stickers to our beer fridge Hall of Fame. So, first sticker we got today is TC's Outdoors. Just got a brand new Easton made splitter. He's growing a small firewood business, and it's fun to watch him. So, check him out if you're interested. The next one we have is John over at Mount Tammany Ridge. He's been real fun to get to know and conversate with. He's got a brute force semi-pro splitter. That's one that I was looking at before I found the one I got. And he's got a New Holland skid loader. His has tracks, but anyway, so he's been real fun to get to know. So, and then the last one we have today is Allen Family Firewood, and we started our channels about the same time, and I started talking to him fairly early. Phil and Karen over there. I have 300 subscribers, and they have 100,000. So I'm sure you've heard of them if you're watching my channel for the firewood, but if you're not, go over there and see what they're up to. They're not afraid of work at all, and real good people. Seem like up in Maine. So go check out those channels. We'll get them up on the beer fridge. Another thing I want to tell you about is if you're into classic cars at all, I have a new channel for you to go watch. My friend Kyle started a YouTube channel all about his car, and go over and check him out at Kramer's Garage. And he's just got, I think, 2 videos out. He's going to try and be out every Monday. So if you're into classic cars, go over and check him out. He does a good job already. So with that, we'll get these up on the beer fridge, and we'll get into this week's video. There they all are. I got a couple more in the works, but they're not here yet. And we'll do some more of these here shortly. But go check out those channels. They're fun to watch, fun to learn from. So go check them out. Now let's get into this week's video. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Shotlet Family Firewood. On this week's video, it's been kind of a nasty week. We got some rain, some snow, and now some cold. So kind of not cold enough to freeze the ground, so everything's mud. So we're going to take advantage of it and do some maintenance this week. And then I thought about talking about why firewood, why I got into firewood, and why I continue to do it. But anyway, we're going to start by, we got to replace the throttle cable here on this New Holland L225 skid loader. And then I think we're going to do an oil change on our Massey Ferguson 285 tractor. And probably an oil change on my 2014 Ram. And while we're doing that, we'll talk about why we got into firewood. So, with that being said, let's get started. Okay, well, it did snow down to next to nothing now, but it's going to warm up today and everything's going to be mud. I'm going to take advantage of today, and we're going to fix the skid loader. So a couple videos back I mentioned that the skid loader broke, and what broke was the throttle cable. So we have the new throttle cable and throttle assembly, throttle lever assembly, and I guess we're gonna fix that today on our L225 New Holland. So I got the boys out here with me. They're gonna give me a hand, and we're gonna try and get this thing replaced. So that's what our project's gonna be this weekend, so stay tuned. All right, so we got the electronic post off here and got the throttle cable out from that channel. It's here. So now there's a clamp down right there, so we gotta get that off, and then we probably have to flip the cab up after that. All right, we got the cab flipped up on this L225 New Holland. If you're not familiar, there's two nuts, one here, one on the other side. You gotta take those off. You can flip the cab up. And so there's our throttle cable right here. There's still the clamp on underneath by the foot pedals there, and then it goes up and connects right there. So that's what we have to get off. And this is really the second time I've ever flipped the cab since I've had this, so we're gonna clean a lot of this debris out under here while we're under here. So we have the arms locked up. The arms are pinned up for safety, and the lock is on for the cab right there. So we're all safe about it, and we'll get this job done. Okay, after dropping a piece down in the underneath the engine, we got it out, and we have the throttle linkage unhooked here. We got to get that clamp off, and then we can pull it out, I think. So we're getting that far. So
I don't want this.
hey, the old one is out, new one is going in. Ouch, ouch. New one is going in. We got it past the first obstacle, and we are rerouting it into here. See the new end right there. So we're getting that up back to the throttle assembly back there. So okay, we have the cable in and adjusted, all good to go. The new throttle lever is installed right there, and we're getting the post put back on. We'll be done flipping the cab down here in a few minutes. So okay, we have this is a Ram, 2014 Ram 1500. It's got the 5.7 Hemi in it. So I'm not a mechanic. I'm not here teaching you how to do an oil change. Just showing you that that's what we're doing today. So yeah, stay tuned. We'll start talking about the reasons for firewood here shortly. All right, so we got the oil draining in the out of the truck, and we'll let that sit for a little bit. I just wanted to talk a little bit about why or how I got into firewood. And a lot of it, I guess this idea came to light last week. We went and got our pigs, and we raised, last year was our first year raising pigs. This year we're raising a few more. And a couple weeks ago we got a half a beef from my parents. And mainly what I like about the firewood, and I think probably a lot of you guys do too, is the self-sufficiency part of it. When I start talking about this, I feel like people think I'm a prepper or doomsday kind of guy, and I'm not. I don't want to have to rely on anybody for anything. And if I got firewood for heat and I've got my food, I really don't need to rely on anybody, at least for a short time, to get anything that I need. Kids and the wife, I want to know that they're taken care of. And to me, that is the best way to do it. So that's why I started. Well, that's not why I started Firewood, but that's why I've stuck with it. I started Firewood because during COVID, and we all needed extra money. I started splitting firewood for somebody else that was paying me in cash, and I did quite a bit for him that first year. But I quickly saw that I could make more money selling a lot less wood. And then the boiler that I have, I can burn all the scraps, all the cutoffs, all the long pieces, the knotty pieces, everything. I can burn all that for heat in the boiler. So that's why I do firewood. Tell me what you think. Let me know why you do firewood. I didn't do firewood growing up as a kid. We farmed. We cut some trees down along the fence lines and we burned them in a pile. That was it. We had propane for heat and we never did any. I lived in a little country subdivision, was the first house I bought. I thought about doing wood heat there. I had a wood fireplace there, so I had to split a little bit for that. And I just hand split that. And I had thought about doing a boiler there, but was worried about the smoke and whatever. So when we moved out to this place out in the country, boiler was one of the first things I think I knew I wanted. I didn't do it right away, but I knew I wanted to have it. And then once COVID came around and I started splitting the wood and I had all the scraps there, then it was a no-brainer. So the story on the boiler is it was actually a neighbor just a mile up the road. His wood pile started on fire around it. That's why it's discolored. You've seen it in the videos. But it still works fine, works great. I got it hidden behind some trees so you don't even notice it. And it's been everything that I wanted. I got it dirt cheap. And I literally took my skid loader up there and basically carried it home. So pretty simple. I installed myself using my brother who's a plumber. So just the cost of materials. And we have had heat and the great hot water for 2 years now. And we love it. We hate shutting it off in the summertime because the water isn't as hot. So other than that, we'll get back to our oil changes. And that's basically going to wrap it up for this week. I appreciate you watching. It hasn't been a friendly week for working in the wood yard. So this is what we have to do. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one. There's one laying down in the back there, but there's 6 of them in there. Anyway.